You need people involved in making these big changes and in driving through these kinds of policies. And one of the best ways to do that is to actually get them close up to the people who are being affected by what's going on in the world and to reach out.
So it's much less of an us and them. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And paperwork is everywhere. Paperwork, mountains of it everywhere you go.
Listening to conversation, I also think that we've underrated the sort of systems approach you need in this kind of policy shift. So it's not just about the political leadership or about the community leadership, but it's also got to be about the media and all the ways that these things get presented to the public at large, because a million people is enough. It's not overrun the country. You don't have all of the bits and pieces together. You can imagine that disproportionately can organise people's psyche if you don't have people being told the right facts.
What about Callum's comment about Uganda? He thinks we should ignore political solutions to the refugee crisis and look to communities with tribal traditions. I love the idea of having a perfect country investigation kit. Do you agree that we need to send it out again?
What Uganda has been very successful compared to many other countries is that they allow refugees to work. And this gives people not only some income, but a sense of purpose, aspiration, and well-being. And that's enormously important. But Uganda is going to face a crisis in terms of the ongoing financing of their response. And I think here we need international attention to the fact that, many countries are facing particularly heavy burdens.
Martha, we heard listener Jude talk about Cuba's policy relying on individual countries having this very strong sense of community. What do you think is the importance of that? Is it the most important thing to you?
It seems as though not just for Cuba, but actually in lots of the policies that we're discussing, it relies on 2 or 3 things working together. The top-down political will, if you like, and then the volunteering or the community-led leadership at another level. That's as true to me in Cuba as it is.
That, give or take. So, but you can make it on half in those down months. You might not make any progress in a down month. I doubt it. I think you still make some progress, but get yourself on a written plan. And if you see one of those months coming, plan it. Really, that month, we got to really buckle down that month. And honey, you got to bring some money out of your business that month or something like that. You just look at it and, kind of the beauty of what you guys are engaging is now you're going to start being very intentional about manipulating every one of your dollars until it screams. You're going to make those dollars behave. Crack the whip on them. Good job, man. You're going to be great. You're going to be great. Call me back and I'll use you again. Dylan. Oh, no. Break. Can't talk to you, Dylan. Coming up after the break, we will talk to Dylan. I'm having trouble implementing the debt snowball because I have several consolidations with monthly payments. Any advice? I don't care if they're consolidations. You just have monthly payments. And you have a list of your debts. Regardless of how they got there, if you have several different debts that are the result of consolidations, you just list your consolidated debts. The individual debts for each time you consolidate. If you have one that's $10,000 and one that's $15,000, then put them in your debt snowball. Pay minimum payments on everything but your little one, attack the little one, and work your way right down the list. What's throwing you is you think there's something different about them being consolidations. There's a lot of different ways we get into debt. There's only one best way to get out of debt, and that's the debt snowball. So how you got there, it matters emotionally, it matters to consider it so you never do it again, but it doesn't affect the math on how you get out. So just list them smallest to largest. Get after it. Get it. You can do it. I love it. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Over 2 million people, and they just released their brand new home security system, the all-new Simply Safe. This system has been completely rebuilt and redesigned. They've added new safeguards to protect against power outages, downed Wi-Fi, cut landlines, bats, hammers, and everything in between. It's practically invisible, with powerful sensors so small you'll hardly notice them. You know who will? Intruders. Simply Safe spent years building the system, but you still get the same fair and honest price, just $15 a month, and there's no contract. It's smaller, faster, and stronger than anything they built before, but supply is very limited. Visit simplysafedirect.com right now to order. That's simplysafedirect.com.
Hey, non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention! If you or a loved one suffered serious complications from abdominal hernia surgery, you may be entitled to a significant cash award. Call 800-581-5958. If you had abdominal hernia surgery between October 2010 and June 2016 and suffered serious complications, Physiomesh may be to blame. Please call now if you or a loved one has had abdominal hernia surgery. You may be entitled to a cash award and compensation. Time is limited. If you or a loved one's life has been affected by complications, pain, or more surgeries after an abdominal hernia surgery performed between October 2010 and June 2016, you may be entitled to a cash award and compensation. Call 800-581-5958 now. Call 800-581-5958. Our toll-free phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-581-5958. That's 800-581-5958. 800-581-5958.
Can you tell if the leftovers from this dinner party are beginning to grow bacteria that could lead to severe diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach cramps? Listen. Can you? You can't see it either. Make sure your leftovers are as safe as they are delicious. Get them into the refrigerator as soon as possible and transfer them into shallow containers. Spoiled leftovers can make you very sick, or worse. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year, and roughly 3,000 will die. But you can keep your family safer by chilling food promptly and properly. Learn more about this and other important information. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. That's foodsafety.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a ballerina. They can stand on their tippy toes with fancy tutus and twirl around like magical princesses.
If your child is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a serious defect of the immune system. Early testing gives children a chance to dream.
I can't wait to grow up, because then I will leap for the stars.
Jeffrey Modell Foundation, helping children reach for their dreams. Visit info4pi.org. It's Dave Ramsey on WWL.
Paycheck, and that's why we created Financial Peace University 20 plus years ago. It's our 9-week class that has helped almost 5 million people change their lives. Did you know that behind those changed lives is somebody like you? Yep. Somebody who volunteered to lead one of these tens of thousands of Financial Peace University classes that are taught. They're called volunteer coordinators. Our coordinators are the heartbeat of Financial Peace University. They put the classes together. You're not a trained coach or a financial expert. It's just somebody who cares about people and has a heart for the subject of seeing people change their lives. So what we're doing is this. If you're ready to lead one of these life-changing classes, right now is the best time to get started. In fact, tomorrow is the last day we're offering the class membership and the leader materials at a discounted price. If you want a deal on this to lead a class, this is the time to do it. We need some help right now to get some classes going, so we've discounted it. Tomorrow's last day. Financial Peace University. To take advantage, text the word LEADER to 33789. LEADER to 33